What's poppin' YouTube? This is your boy Archer, and today we're giving a review on Queen and Slim. Now, Queen and Slim, man. So, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your mama, share with your family. Maybe they might like my review, maybe they might not. So at first, I spoiled it for myself. I am a person who will. I need to know what I'm about to watch, and I need to know what I'm paying for. Because I don't want to pay for no BS. I'm going to be very real with you. So I had spoiled it for myself. So I knew overall how the story would end. I knew it would result in death. I just didn't know, the very specific internal factors and each scene transition and just the specifics of the movie like that. So after seeing the movie, I have a lot of thoughts. I have notes, and we're gonna go down by my notes. And so the writer, her name was Lena Waithe. I hope I'm saying that woman's name right. I'm saying that woman's name right. So she wrote this, and she got the idea from a white man. Check out some of her interviews. And I think the most prominent thing that we're hearing and that we are discussing is her claim that this movie is a meditation on blackness. I just want to say, from after viewing the movie, I strongly believe it is and it is not, and I'm ambivalent to say that it is, because that's a very strong claim that this is a meditation on blackness, when many of the same and common tropes that have been used in a lot of other media are just being reused. So yeah, going down by my notes, let's what did I want to start with? So yes and no. The story is that when I talk about blackness, right? This meditation of blackness in the movie, we are given almost like this Tumblr, Twitter experience of like what black culture, how black culture is represented. I think part of it is lived experience in the black people that we have encountered, but I also think a lot of this is like some weird like Tumblr, Twitter media representation of what people think blackness is. And I say that because going into the characters, especially the side characters, they're very static. They're very two-dimensional. I think the best fleshed out character actually on screen is the uncle. I think everybody has agreed we like the uncle. He's a charismatic person. But a lot of the side characters play into the common tropes that white media has tended to represent us as. And so I'm gonna get in, but just bookmark that idea later. Like, is this whose meditation on blackness is it? Whose experience is this of blackness? And when you say that, I just think that's a really strong claim that you got to be willing to defend, that you are gonna be having to like your art must speak for itself. And let's just keep going. So, like I said, many of the side characters are like monolithic, static, and really just two-dimensional. We can, like, let's name a character. Let's talk about the fat phobia. Let's talk about the first comedic relief we get after, upon their escape, and they have to go to Chubby's, and they stop at Chubby's, and they get a little bigger boy to go get them some food, right? And then his dad comes and is they have to take this man to the hospital because they hit him, and this fat black man is used for comedic relief, and that speaks to fat phobia, and it also speaks to this two dimensionality of a lot of these characters. Like we get the white man who goes out and helps them. We get a cop that is getting bullied and treated very and being disrespected and just getting thrown all these racial like undertones by his other white cop, and he helps them out. And it's just, I feel like a lot of these side characters were not fleshed out enough. They weren't fleshed out enough. And then let's get to Queen and Slim. Queen and Slim's relationship as a meditation on blackness. I'm gonna be very honest, they didn't need to be together. I love seeing two dark-skinned black people on screen. Like, it is like the sexiest thing that could possibly happen before the decade ended. And I really love the cinematography as far as like the blue and darker undertones. It was just, there was some really sexy vibes in the movie. It was really kinky. So all that being said, right, Queen and Slim's relationship. As far as, let's talk about Queen as a character first. Let's talk about Angela as a character, right? Angela is an atheist. She's a lawyer. She helped get her uncle off. Right, of killing her own mother. And so Angela is the typical stubborn black girl. Angela is also very much someone who doesn't really have a backstory. We don't know much about Angela, honestly. Angela is what makes, now Jodie Foster, the woman that's playing her, she does an okay job. It's really her first major role, and I think she does an okay job. But I think the way Angela or Queen is written, her stubbornness, she's stubborn about the wrong things. And not only that, Queen is depicted as, what really irks me about Queen's character, her character development and journey, is I would have rather seen Queen and her stubbornness be an intrinsic force within her, right? Part of her personality, than be a pathology. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but right after Queen and Slim have sex, it seems like we get this now toned down. All I needed was some dick to set me free of my emotional burdens as a black woman. I just didn't like it. And as far as Queen and like her dialogue, I believe Queen tends to tell us more than show us who she really is. To be a lawyer, she don't act like one. I'm gonna be very honest, and I understand. Not once did they ever think, man, we just gotta turn ourselves in. Like, she's a lawyer, and I understand we're supposed to suspend our expectations of reality in this movie. But it's just kind of like, why didn't she use none of her lawyer skills? Why did it seem like she was just telling us more about herself than showing us about herself? Maybe it has to do with the trope of women talking about their problems more, or maybe it was just dopey monologue, honestly. Kind of just really dopey monologue. I do appreciate the silence, the voiceovers that we get when there's silence. Like I said, I appreciate the cinematography. I think the movie without all that dialogue could probably be a serious poem. It's a serious poem. But now let's get to Slim's character. Slim's character is, I don't want to call him a beta male, but he's kind of a beta male. You know, he is a religious person Not gonna say too much about that, but he's a religious person. You know, he's an okay person. But what's really to him? I don't think we ever really get to know Ernest either. Honestly, we know he works at Costco. We know, you know, he has some religious beliefs. We know that him and his father may not have a good relationship. But we never get to learn about Ernest. For a 2.5 hour movie, we do a lot of moving, but not a lot of exploration. We do a lot of we're getting somewhere, but not a lot of internal exploration of who these characters really are along their journey and along their development and their meditation of blackness and how they feel at the moment. And I think that is one key point the movie very much misses. I think also the movie really, I think I was mentioning this earlier, but the movie and Black Love and being shoved down our face. A couple who had no chemistry, no real compatibility. I wouldn't even consider them a couple. I would consider them friends who loved each other and just happened to have sex. And needed each other's comfort and affection and vulnerability in such a moment. This is not a struggle love movie. No. This is not a struggle love movie. And I say that because they fell in love whilst under the pressure of having to survive. So no, this is not struggle love by any means, but I can see how you can get that. Specifically when we get to Slim talking about he wants to ride or die and this really patriarchal view of wanting to, have a legacy, and I don't know. I like Slim's performance, whatever that man's actor's name is. He was in Us, he was in Get Out, but I do not particularly care or dislike Slim. It's like he's there and he exists as a character, and I think we never get enough internal explanation about how the characters really feel, and I think part of that is the script. And the script is pretty messy too, considering what they were looking for in the casting when they were trying to hire Queen. When they were looking for Queen's character, Angela's character. And so, yeah, how I feel about Queen and Slim is Queen is stubborn in the wrong places. Like, I just don't understand why her stubbornness was characterized as a pathology that needed a remedy. Instead, and I'm here for like the aggressive black girls and like canon and like media in general. I'm here for it. Like, why can't we have an aggressive, stubborn black girl? I was about to say messy, but my bad. Trope. Anyways, why can't we have that in the black canon? I see no problem with it. Anyways, let's talk about Slim. No. Let's keep going on. We already talked about Slim. I don't got nothing more to say about Slim. Slim is a pretty boring character to me. I'm gonna be very honest. I like the actor's portrayal, as I said, but he seems kind of static. The only person that seems to have to grow is Angela, and like they grow with each other. But I just really didn't understand Slim's journey. What did Slim really have to do, and how did he suffer? Even in the portrayal of Slim, of Queen constantly being the one to get hurt, getting shot in the leg, breaking her, dislocating her shoulder, and then being the first one to get shot. Something about that, I don't know. Like, if that's the meditation on blackness, if that's if what the writer is trying to get at is that black women are taking all the blows, I can understand that. I'm also here for some of the challenging of patriarchy and the patriarchy tempers that we see with the uncle when, he's over here mad because he lost his ring. I also am here for India Moore. Yes, mama. Work it, work it. So, I'm here for it. Now, moving. Let's look back at the notes. It's gonna be a long movie review. Y'all gonna sit with me real quick. Let's look back at the notes. And so, one of the things that I really didn't like about the character development and the underdevelopment of Queen's character is her atheism. I was strongly, I think I think black atheists and agnostic people have a place in the black canon, and we need to stop falling back on Christianity as the default for our black characters. Not every black person, especially in this new age, is defining themselves as Christian. And as I've said before, black people are not monolithic. I just found it very weird that, again, her atheism could be pathologized according with her stubbornness and the fact that she's over here praying to God literally after she just got some D. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I would have preferred Queen and Slim to be friends. Friends with benefits. Maybe they could have had more dialogue. I would have preferred them to just be friends though. I would have preferred a brother-sister relationship, and that would have been just as beautiful. I think we need representation of platonic black friendship, of platonic black opposite gender friendship. You know, like where is that in the black canon? It's just like I said, black love being stuffed down our face. Anyways. So let's talk about the protest and the ending. I think that's really where like a lot of the ambivalence in this film lies. I could have accepted this movie and its ending and their death. I am actually not very mad at the fact that they died, as I am mad at the mechanisms that drove them to their death. Are you getting what I'm spitting? So let's talk about the protest. So the day before the protest, they meet this young boy, and whether or not he's modeled after Tamir Rice, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. I think that protest was very much mishandled. The protest was very much mishandled. They needed to consult grassroots activists and and Black Lives Matter activists who are actually out there in the fields and the trenches, because that was terrible. Listen. If you gonna make a social commentary film, then make that and run with it and stick with it. This is what you don't get to do. You do not get to insert paradoxical and events grounded in such a non-reality to a movie that was made to at least resemble reality. You don't get to insert scenes like that. So contradictory. It accomplished literally nothing. That scene literally accomplished nothing but to be a plot twist. It didn't develop the narrative. It didn't drive the narrative any further. And the protest scene may could have existed because this is the first scene that we are no longer with Queen and Slim, that we can step away from what they're doing. And so, let's take the opposite lens that I've been hearing about this scene, and that their sex is representative of the birth of passion in defending and protecting black lives. And I can understand it, and I can see that, and I can possibly forgive this scene had that boy not shot that cop. You don't get to do that. You don't get to make a social commentary and then completely throw all that under the bus and throw young black lives under the bus. You don't get to do that. No, you don't. Let's keep it. Well, let's keep it a stack. That would have never happened. Moving on to the ending. I cried. Let's keep it real. I cried. I shed a few tears. I shed a few gangster tears. I didn't want to see them die. You know, I've had discussions with a few people, and they say that the ending was appropriate, and I can understand that. I can definitely understand the ending as the death being appropriate. What I cannot forgive is the mechanisms into which their death happened. I will not forgive. This is what I'm not forgiving me. I'm not forgiving you vilifying a hood nigga, bruh. I'm not. Who do you think you are to insert all these characters that can at least be two-dimensional, but then insert this one-dimensional character. Their setup being so one-dimensional. A hood nigga with gold teeth, bruh. That's what we talking about now. That's what we get the stereotypical hood nigga setup, because that's the problem. it's the hood niggas we need to be looking out for, and that we always need to be vigilant for. Bruh, there's snakes in the grass everywhere. It was real. That was real foul. I'm not here for the vilification of the hood men, of the hood people. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for black ruggedness and grittiness to be portrayed as below. This time traveling from the north to the south in this reverse slave narrative where we're getting these pimp. Oh yeah, did I say that Queen and Slim gave me pimp ho vibes? They gave me pimp ho vibes, bruh. I was getting serious pimp ho vibes from Queen and Slim after they left Uncle Earl, bruh. I could have accepted. Let's just keep it a stack. I could have accepted had he been sold out by a black cop. Had he been sold out by the black mechanic. But no, you want to pin this on the black hood nigga, because the black hood nigga is who we consistently need to worry about. I am done. This is not a meditation on blackness. This is a meditation on what you think blackness is. That's why I can't say this is a meditation on blackness. It's so monolithic. It portrays Southern life and this reverse slave narrative and the Southern people as very much lower. Very much of a lower caste, of a lower value system, of I just didn't like it. Something about all the portrayal of the black men in the South rubbed me the wrong way, from the mechanic and I get it, everybody's out for money and they're hungry. Why does race need to be this, like, if this is the problem that American Son had, and that race consistently had to be the plot twist. And the fact of the matter is, the story never knew what it really wanted to be. Did it want to be a social commentary? Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have the hood nigga setting up another black man. We wouldn't. Y'all can say y'all believe this, that, and the third, but anybody could have sold them out. Anybody, literally anybody. But you chose to pin it on the person that wears their villain stereotype the most. Boy, bye. So, let me get some strengths to the movie in this review. The strengths of the movie were the cinematography. I loved it. The soundtrack was amazing. When I was watching it, I was like, "Ooh, I know that song. Ooh, I know that song too." Yeah, the soundtrack was like really amazing, the cinematography. And when I watched Jules's video, or maybe it was for Harriet, she talked specifically about this transition of architecture from the north to the south, you know, and this external representation of the reverse slave narrative. Overall, I think those are the strengths. And when we look back at this movie, we really need to be considerate that this body of work exists in this time and space, and that we may, and that in a lot of ways, we will always, in some way or another, be influenced by the language and the teachings of our oppressors. The English language in and of itself is racist, and it only complements and supplements and backs up racist thoughts and behavior. So the two-dimensionality of these characters is really something that needed to be developed and looked at more. Queen and Slim needed to be developed more, to consider it a meditation on blackness. I give the movie a 7 out of 10. It's beautifully shot. I think a lot of art buffs are going to go back, watch this. I think, you know, the white moms with their little black sons going to see the movie and cry. That's how I feel about it. But other than that, Black Death, it ain't inspiring, bro. That ain't cute. It's gonna be a while before I watch the film again. It'll be very 100. It's gonna be a very long time before I watch the film again. But nothing about Black Death is inspiring. I couldn't rate it any higher than a C. It's like it's like a beautiful gift, a beautifully wrapped gift with that's nothing but a box. Yeah, it's nothing but box. Transparent and hollow. So, all that being said, that was my review of Queen and Slim. Comment, let me know what you think. Was I ranting a bit much? I kind of feel like I was, but anyways, let's get this discussion popping.